coached on how to like speak to a man. And there was one time me and a significant other, we were renting a car and we had purchased like, the gas or whatever so we could take it back on E. So we're in the car and he was like, okay, we're going to make it. We don't have to get any gas. It's cool. And I was like, I ain't pushing. And then he was like, okay, cool, I'll push, ain't a problem, but we gonna make it. And I thought about it and I was like, I'm gonna be worried the whole way. I don't wanna ride in this car and he ain't put no gas in there. So I looked at him and I said, babe, I trust you and I believe that we will get there. But I'm really gonna be worried and concerned the whole ride there. And he looked at me and he was like, okay, I don't want you to be worried and I don't want you to be concerned. And he went and put gas in the car. And I was like, that's all I had to do? So, I'm honestly grateful for the person who coached me on that because I've taken that. And if a man really loves you and cares for you, he will not want you to worry. He will not be sitting there being the cause of your concern. Say that, sis.
Okay. All right. What you think about that voice?
Can y'all give me 1 second? Go to somebody else because my daughter is on and off. She keeps making noise really loud. Give me 1 second.
I got you. Go ahead, Cookie.
I agree with. I don't think that is something that you should plan out. I think that either you're a kind person that has concerns. Like I have social anxiety. Everybody I date knows that about me, right? So I'm just an anxious person anyway. But I feel like practicing that on a man shows maybe some lack of trust and maybe even a little bit of manipulation in that situation. I get what she was saying when she said, "Oh, if he cares about you, he's concerned. Oh, that's all I had to do." I get what she's saying, but I also heard the whole story, and she was like, "I'm glad I picked up that tool." You can tell him that. I mean, I guess I'd feel better if that came naturally from her instead of somebody teaching her, "Hey, if you in this situation," it just seems kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Malicious. That it's like if you're in this situation and your man's doing this and you don't trust him, but you don't want to let him know you don't trust him, say this. Do y'all get what I'm saying, or am I too far off the chart?
Hold on. I think I interpret that a little different. I think that's the example she gave, but I think the bigger theme is understanding how you speak to your man.
No,
So,
absolutely.
right.
I
So I
get
think
that
that was
part, but
the
my
bigger
thing is,
theme.
wouldn't he want it to come from her soul and not from a class? Is what I'm saying.
No, I think not everybody understands how to do that. Like even I can admit that there are times where I've said things because it came to my head, and then later on thought about, man, I could have worded this a little different because I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? So for her having the opportunity, and I think that honestly, that's kind of what a lot of the men in these spaces, I'm gonna say black men because that's what we have been talking about in these spaces, have been saying about us as black women, is that we don't know how to talk to them. We have attitudes in the way that we speak. We don't consider the way that we word things and talk to them any old kind of way. And so for some women, that is not natural because they've been exposed to improper ways of speaking to men. So if you value your relationship, you want to build up your man, you want to build the connection that Balancing was talking about earlier, the emotional connection. Some of that onus is on us in how we speak to our men. And if you don't have that skill, it's okay to go somewhere to learn it. In fact, you should, if your priority is to make sure your relationship is healthy and that it's working. So the fact that she said, "Oh, I'm glad I had that tool to pull from in this situation, because if I didn't, I probably would have made the situation worse." So I don't think it was anything wrong with that. I don't think it's manipulation. I think it's the same thing that we were asking for from men, and saying how they should speak to us if they want us to lose weight.
I wasn't
Don't just
saying
be like,
that. I want him to tell me the
no, I know
truth.
you wasn't, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
in general, most women say, I don't mind you saying things to me, but just in the way that you say it to me. We need honesty. And the same thing as women, we do need to learn how to speak life into our men, how to just, even if we're honest, how to talk better to them in our honesty. That's it.
Okay.
I could have sworn I brought up treatment earlier, and you guys, never mind.
I didn't do nothing.
'Cause, I
I
mean, this
said I
falls
don't
along the
know.
lines. The reason why men are faithful, and I said treatment, and I got a lot of. But this, okay. Go ahead, because I think you were trying to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
I
something.
stuck
yeah.
with it. I
I
just
like I
wanted to
even said
ask the
something about
men
that,
how they
and then
felt.
all of a sudden the women knew the answers. Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry, I didn't
didn't
mean to
grow no
interrupt.
answer. I stayed quiet, but I had to. I really kind of want to hear from the men on how they feel about that. Do y'all feel like it's manipulation, or am I overthinking it?
But look, Will was saying it's a man's fault for that. So, Will, let me ask you this, brother. I agree.
Yep.
A lot of things men need to do and change.
hmm
But why should I fix a woman who should already know how to act like a woman, who needs to talk and treat me in a respectful manner? Why do I have to teach her that? That should have been taught a long time ago by your mammy. Your mammy should have taught that by how she seen her treat her father, which is a woman's husband. That's what should. Now, let me tell you this. You know how to talk to that white man. That's your supervisor at work. You know how to respectfully talk to him. But when you come home, you break the seal of that door, you forget. And you talk to me 10 karat crazy. And I got to accept that, huh? Bullshit. So again, I don't know what to say. I'm going to leave it there.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Hank. I think as men, if you're gonna choose a partner, it's better to choose a partner that already comes with the things that you are looking for. Um, but for me, I only have three qualities when I look for in a woman. It's real simple, attractive, and the second thing is coachability. So for me, is I do understand there's going to be a lot of nuances when it comes to relationships. There's going to be a lot of things that we have to learn about each other, especially when it comes to how we deal, living to each other and communicate on a daily basis. But as long as I can see that she's coachable, that when there are things I see that's out of line, that I'll be able to correct her on that, and she's open to that. I think that can take care of a lot of the things that we see, especially the way she talks or the way she communicates. But I think a lot of times, if you select a woman that doesn't have the things that you mentioned, Hank, that's not already moving that way as a woman or as a wife, or wasn't taught that from a mom or from the female ladies in her family, I think and she's also not coachable. She's also not willing to learn. That can be very difficult, and I think that's why a lot of guys find themselves in situations. So uh, I've met women who come from those type of families, really easy to deal with, but I also met women who are more modern. The modern women that we see today who didn't come from those type of families, but some of them were very coachable. Like they had an open mind to listen from the male perspective, and they're willing to make adjustments. And I think if you can't find a woman that was taught that, but if she is coachable to you, then you're doing what you're supposed to do as a man, it's much easier to navigate that. But I think a lot of times when I see guys, they tend to choose women who don't move that way. I agree with you, but they also pick women who are not coachable at all. They push back and let them disrespect them over time. And instead of leaving that situation, they stay in that situation. And I would have to put that back on the men. It's like, you see, she's clearly disrespecting you. But if you stay there, then you can't really blame the woman. You got to look at yourself. This is my standpoint.
So the
So
outside
I
sourcing
agree.
for the
I
coach.
agree with. What do
Yeah.
you say?
I was saying, so the outside sourcing for the coaching, what I'm getting from both of y'all is that what I got from Will is that he would want to be the person doing the correct and correct. Is that what I'm saying? If she's coachable, that means you would be the one coaching her. So what
Well,
I got from the video clip was that she had an outside. Never mind, man. I'm thinking too deep. Don't worry about it. I just want y'all to finish answering the question. I feel like it was a form of manipulation because it wasn't a coaching that came from a man. It was somebody saying, "Oh, this is how you need to talk to a man." That's all I was saying. But
you know, yeah, I understand what you're saying. One country, it did seem that way for me watching that clip. But for me personally, for myself, I like my woman up front. Like I want her to be honest and brutal to me, but as long as she's just respectful, that's the only thing. So for every man, respect is different for every man. How they want their woman to communicate. But I'm very upfront, and I prefer my woman to be upfront. But as long as she's respectful in the way she talks and communicates to me. But just be real unfiltered and raw to me because I really want to know what you really think, and vice versa for me.
So I can agree with that part when you're talking about the man's vetting and all that. But like JR said earlier, he did say something about how a woman treats a man. It determines on certain things. So that was totally correct. But some people had something to say and they said they didn't have nothing to say. But they all of a sudden he said something about treating. They found something to say. I don't know how that works. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna go back to what the woman who said talking about.
He said
She had to
that
start
if
working.
she's treating him correctly, then why would he cheat? We said it's some men that will still
Oh,
just
that's
cheat
right.
just
I
because.
know that's right.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
that's right, Boris. Yeah. Yes. But back to what the woman was saying. Most 90% of women wouldn't do that situation. 90% of women would not even accept that situation. They would get out. They would run. They would abandon. Balance gave us an example. You gave an example of a woman who was married for 2 years and as soon as he lost his job, she got the hell up out of it. She divorced him. Men wouldn't do that. Ladies, you lose your job, you say, "Damn, what happened, baby?" Okay, well, that's all right. You don't have to get you another. I'm sure you'll find another. They didn't appreciate you anyway. We'll come up with every reason to try to encourage you, uplift you, to get yourself back in that workforce. A woman, you got 3 months. As soon as that unemployment check start coming in, you done. You don't stand a goddamn chance. We're not going to do this. I'm not going to carry the damn load for that 4th and 5th and 6th month, let alone a year or 2 years. No, they're not doing that. They're not built for that. They're not built for that. And I don't expect her to. I expect her to be packing her bags and head on up out the door. Now, is it right? Hell no, it's not right, because you're not loyal to the cause. You're not true to what you said. So that white Jesus you told you was going to marry to me forever, you just lied to that Negro, huh?
You believe in Jesus. How can you believe in Jesus?
Amen, amen, amen. But this is crazy. As far as that second video, was she manipulated? Yeah, she was. Why couldn't she just trust her man? And what he said he was willing to push if it came up short. So he had a plan, and if the plan failed, he had a backup plan. This is what's going to happen. If that means I got to push this goddamn car because I made a mistake and underestimated a gas tank, then I'll correct my mistake and I'll fix it and I'll do what I got to do to get us there. Instead, she played the mind games and realized, is that all I have to do? You trifling heifer. You know what you did. You dead wrong for that shit.
Is it acceptable to say that after, okay, say I trust my husband, he said we got enough gas to go here, but I know it's not enough gas in there, okay? Because I know in my mind it ain't enough gas. And we get there, it stopped, and he got to get out and push that car. Is it acceptable for me to be like, I told your ass to get some damn gas? The whole time I'm sitting there trying to push that wheel. Now, I told your ass you should have stopped for some damn gas. Is it not acceptable to now say something like that?
It's not acceptable because we now know that.
If you would have made the same mistake,
okay.
I don't know. I didn't hear what they said.
Now you know it. Now you know it. Now you know that information, right?
Right on. So if you make a mistake, would you want a man to throw it in your face every goddamn time you fuck?
But y'all do though. That's the crazy thing about it. I think they're just people in general. You be like, I told you now.
No, so
You ain't
men
listening
don't
to
be
me.
doing that. See, that's a woman. I don't know what type of man you were dealing with. That sound like a girl man. And shame on you if you got one. Shame on you. But no, men don't be acting like that, doing all that shit. We may look at you, but we ain't gonna say, "Oh, I told you so." No, we ain't doing that. We just look, shake
we
your head,
give you
keep
the look.
and
The look
look.
is
In fact, let me
enough.
tell you
The
what we'll
look
do.
say it
We'll go out
all.
there and
Look
we'll
say it
go out
all.
there and fix whatever fuck up you did to make it right. That's what we'll do. Oh, baby, I accidentally broke this. Could you get it fixed? Well, yeah. Oh, what happened? Okay, don't worry about it. I'll get it fixed. And we'll make the corrections while y'all sitting there looking in your misery, talking about, oh, I don't know what happened.